guys, what's up? It's Joe Rady from Rady's Rides. We're back here at Reeve Subaru in Tampa, Florida, and guess what? We have that supercar killer many people still lust after. This is a 2018 Nissan GTR. But before we get into this particular Godzilla of a supercar killer, let's talk about what's going on here. The GTR. It's been around since 1970. Now, for many of its generations, it's been known as the Skyline GTR because of it being based off of that Skyline chassis in Nissan's lineup. Now, what's interesting is that the R35, which is what this particular GTR is, did not show up on our shores until 2009. That was the first legal GTR to ever be sold brand new in the United States. So the highly coveted R32s, the R33s, and definitely the one that is on so many people's list of dream cars, the R34, they were never sold new in the United States and are now slowly starting to get into that age of being 25 years or older to legally be imported into the United States. What I want to do with this review is that if you want the baddest from Japan when it comes to turbocharged power, all-wheel drive, and something that is going to be able to go after those supercars without it bringing a supercar price tag, is the Nissan GTR still making it happen? Even though it's been around since 2009, they've had a refresh, but no major redesign has happened, and they're saying, Nissan is saying that it may not happen until 2024, 2025. So let's go ahead, let's dive into this 2018 Nissan GTR and find out if you're gonna get a pre-owned supercar killer, is this the way to do it? Let's find out. Right off the bat, R35, definitely much different direction than an R34. Now, for 2018, we see that refresh styling that took place. Headlight design, great overall size and shape. What I'm not digging is the amount of silver chrome finish. I wish they would have went more on a blacked out interior on the headlight housing, but you are getting an LED daytime running lamp. You got that multi projector beam style headlight design going on. And I do like the way it integrates perfectly into that fender there. Now, as we drop down, here is gonna be a big zonk that we have to drop right away. You actually have fake vents on a supercar killer. And as you can see, we just ran this through the car wash. It just collects water. So it would have been nice for this to actually be functional, either an air curtain, either more cooling for the brakes, or just leave it smooth, or maybe not even have it at all. I think if that wasn't even there and the bodywork just filled in, I think it would be perfect. But one of my things that I love about the 2018 refresh is the nice solid line that they have coming out into the front fascia, and then you have these lower corner extensions that are a nice gunmetal metallic gray. Now, as we come across the center portion, this is where you see that unique identity of the R35. Of course, you're gonna have that GTR badge. So much history going back to 1970. Fully functional up on this top portion. I'm digging the brushed aluminum trim that they have because that really showcases the brand's V-Motion grille. And here's a little fun fact. This actual grille section was once used on a prototype race car, believe it or not, in the IMSA WeatherTech series. As you drop down, you're gonna have more functionality, and this is where you're gonna have those major scoops that are needed to cool the brakes. Because remember, part of the challenge of the current GTR is that it's very heavy. So when you have a very heavy car, it's gonna really abuse the brakes, especially with the other performance that this thing brings to the table. So we wanna try to get as much cool air to those brake rotors to keep them nice at a perfect temperature so there's no brake fade. But I love the way they extend that front fascia that's gonna stop air from going underneath the GTR and help get air into the coolers to keep that twin turbo V6 doing its thing. Now, when we get up onto the hood, I love the nice slight rise that they have on each side of the hood. And then look, you're actually gonna get not one, but two mini bulges. So you're gonna have a bulge here and a bulge on that side. What they do is they actually house these NACA ducts. The great news about a NACA duct is that it takes the airflow, it directs air, but a lot of air is able to travel over it as well. So it really cuts down on drag, because that's one of the problems with scoops, is that it creates drag. Doing it that way, you're actually minimalizing your drag, and you're giving it that nice aggressive look that everybody wants. Now, when you come around the bend for 2018, guess what? We have some new wheels and brake setups on this thing. I love the dark chrome finish on these split spoke wheels. Absolutely gorgeous. This is a 20-inch wheel. Up front, we have 255 on the width, 40 series sidewall. Look at those calipers. 6 piston, massive calipers, a nice metallic orange. I tell you, it's like squeezing a big, huge orange and just getting a bunch of OJ in a nice tall glass to drink down. What those calipers, though, are not going to be producing is juice. They're going to be producing tons of braking power. Over 15 inches, 15.5-inch rotors. They're 2-piece, which means that you have the aluminum hat and the steel rotor, which is cross-drilled and fully ventilated. These brakes are going to be able to shed speed just as fast as a husky sheds hair. That's how powerful those brakes are going to be. And then, of course, you have that specially tuned suspension at all 4 corners to give you that grip. And then on top of that, you have all-wheel drive. But what I love about the all-wheel drive on the GTR, a lot of it goes towards those rear wheels, so you could actually use the rear to help get you around a turn rather than just being totally stuck planted. But I absolutely am digging the style of the wheel with those brakes and our particular metallic black example. Now, with the fender, you'll notice how it gives a nice, almost flared out portion as it extends off from the hood. You have some more aluminum finish, matches that V-Motion grille with the GTR badge. We have a functional side fender vent. Lori's gonna kind of scoop around and show just how far that vent extends and the way the fender extends from the hood. These are lines that make this car timeless. And that's the thing is, even with the refresh, it's still the same basic overall design from 2009. Of course, color matched on the mirror caps. I love the gunmetal gray on that lower sill extension. It extends out, it comes in and then extends once again towards the back. We have nice flush mounted door handles. I love the roofs on these cars. Just really nice flat, the way it kind of slopes down into the rear glass, unique shape on that quarter glass window. Remember, we have 4 seats in this GTR. Keep working our way back. Of course, you're gonna get that extension off of the rear pillar here for the rear tires. Now, when we look at the rears, guess what? You still got 20-inch wheels, 285 on the width, 35 series sidewall, and you're still getting massive calipers back here and rotors. 2-piece, cross-drilled, fully ventilated, and I really like the way it has the Nissan branding and the Brembo branding all together on that caliper. And then as we come towards the back, when we talk about buying a pre-owned car, sometimes the previous owner might have done some changes, some upgrades that you actually really like, and you don't have to pay extra for it. One of those things is going to be this full rear carbon fiber wing. This is obviously not the stock wing. It is real wet weave carbon fiber. I love the way it's got this 2-part element of design. Nice kick up to give us downforce, and it looks like something you would find on the Nismo edition of a GTR. Remember, Nismo stands for Nissan Motorsports, but that is something that the owner put. You are going to, of course, get those quad taillights. That's a design feature of the GTR. We got the GTR badge. What I would have liked to have seen is, instead of having the Nissan badge here, get rid of the Nissan badge and just take this, bam, right there, Godzilla. We drop down. Another nice touch besides the wing is going to be this custom exhaust. So he's got these beautiful catback exhausts. He's got a different mid pipe, which is great. I like the titanium blue finish. That's going to let that V6 twin turbo engine sing a little bit more. You can see how we have functional venting back here. You do have a rear diffuser, and this is also carbon fiber. This has a dry weave carbon fiber touch to it rather than the wet, shiny carbon fiber, but still looks great. This is actually from the factory. So this lower piece is from the factory because they were trying to cut some weight, obviously, but really aggressive from the back. Why don't we go ahead, though? Let's find out why they call this car Godzilla and find out what's powering it. Guys, we got the hood popped on Godzilla. You do have a prop rod, which I am going to zonk that. At this price point, there should be hydraulic hood struts, but underneath that hood, still one of the sexiest engines of all time. Look at the runners for that intake plenum. Absolutely a thing of beauty, hand assembled in Japan and then implanted into this GTR. What are we looking at? We're looking at that 3.8 liter twin turbo V6, 565 horsepower, 467 pound-feet of torque. It is mated to that 6-speed DCT transmission. Here's where the numbers come. 0 to 60 in 2.9 seconds. Top speed 196 miles per hour. The GTR is heavy though. Almost 4,000 pounds, 3,911 pounds. MPGs, not too shabby for the performance. 16 in the city, 22 on the highway. I know we are all waiting for updates. Remember, you could go with a new GTR Nismo and have well over 600 horsepower. But why don't we go ahead, let's fire up our 2018. Here's some of those changes and hear what this Godzilla now sounds like. All right, guys, we're inside this 2018 Nissan GTR. I know you're at that point where you're like, well, Joe, I know that a new GTR is well over $100,000. This one being a premium trim, you're looking over $110,000. How much is this one? Well, it has 13,800 miles, has those nice little changes that the previous owner made. You're looking at an asking price of around $92,000. Let's see what you get for your money. To the door panels, I do like the nice soft touch material. Everything else with the stitch work is very classy. The armrest is so comfortable. There's some flat black plastic, but I know a lot of people would say, why isn't there carbon fiber? And that definitely would be a zonk. The great news is that they do give you a nice cargo net there for your Twinkies. So they know you're going to be racing people. They want you to have those Twinkies for the people that you beat. You just throw it out the window to that person that you just smoked and blew their doors off. You have the Bose sound system. When you come to the dash, soft touch material, the stitch work. I like the round AC vents. Where it gets a little clunky is the infotainment. For a supercar killer, for a car that costs over $100,000 brand new, a little bit too much plastic here. Not the sexiest looking, but what is sexy are all these gauges. And the great news is they were actually developed by the original creator of Gran Turismo. So you're able to get all these different readouts, have it all set up. As you can see, very easy to navigate through. Put it into reverse. There's your backup camera. It's grainy, but the good news is it takes up all 8 inches. So that's really good news. Put it back in the park, and we have our instrumentation. Love the stitching. You got your AC, dual climate control, and then you have your switch gear here to adjust the stiffness of the suspension. All of the goodies. Obviously, we're going to go full R mode, and you just got to hold everything just like that. Full Radies Rides mode for on throttle. You got your start stop button. This is going to control that 6-speed DCT. It's the same DCT since day one, but they have made some changes. We have carbon fiber everywhere here. You have a direct drive control knob for the navigation system. Good old-fashioned e-brake. The old school, these have been around since Noah's Ark. I think actually Noah had a pair of these for the Ark. Key fobs. The good news is it says GTR on it, so you can show all your friends. But the bad news is it's really dated looking. But I guess we'll finish on a high note. The good news is it's not super large, so it's not going to poke you in the groin, which is great. Open this. You got 2 cup holders. Nice little sliding action with all that carbon fiber. Soft on the armrest. Lift that bad boy up. You could put 3 Twinkies for you, 2 USBs, and a 12 volt. We have, of course, the seats. Looking good with the leather, the Alcantara, full electric assist for the passenger and the driver. And then we're gonna go back to this front section, open up the glove box, felt lining, and what do we got here? A box of Twinkies. This one was left by one of our Patreon members, Adam Myers. Gotta give him a huge shout out. Thank you, Adam, for leaving us some Twinkies and showing just how much room you have in the glove box. And guess what? We're not gonna scratch Adam's Twinkie because we got felt lining. So thank you for that. Plenty of headroom, and you got the back seats. Like I said, come on over though. I want to show you behind the custom wheel on this particular GTR. All right, guys, business time. I love being in these GTRs. Really has that old feeling, but with the new touches. GTR badge on the sill. I wish there was a little bit more aluminum, so I am going to zonk the sill here, but I love the badge. Footbox is spot on the money. You got the aluminum dead pedal, brake pedal and throttle, and plenty of room to move your feet around while you're doing your track day. We do have heated seats for both passenger and driver, but no ventilated seats, so that's a major zonk. Seat controls are easy to use, easy to manipulate. I got plenty of headroom, and then guess what? This particular one, the previous owner went to a company here in Tampa called Galaxy Customs and had this custom made steering wheel. This is how it should have came from Nissan. Carbon fiber, top and bottom, flat bottom steering wheel with the Alcantara, the red stitching, that great looking GTR badge. You do have a little bit of that dark gray finish, flat black on the buttons, large paddles to go up and down the 6-speed. My zonk there is they're plastic. Those should be metal in a vehicle that costs over $100,000 new. And then the dash, really clear. It's dated, but you know what? I like analog touches. You got the analog tach, analog speedometer, and then everything else. There is a gear indicator that is digital, and it does look like an old Casio watch reading, but you know what? We're waiting for the redesign. They're saying 2025 or something like that. So I would jump on one of these pre-owned or new ones if you prefer, if you've always wanted a GTR. But you know what? We're not doing the back seat. We're gonna wrap up on the trunk real quick. I'm ready to go on throttle in this GTR. All right, guys, into the cargo space. You do have a usable trunk, which is nice. Now the opening is on the tight side, but once you get past that, you definitely have more room than you're gonna expect from a car that has this kind of performance. And that's the great news about the GTR, is that it could get the job done on the track, whether it's the drag strip or road course, your favorite twisty road, or you could daily drive this vehicle. And you know what? If you're having a challenge where maybe your significant other's on the fence about a GTR, just tell that person, no matter who they are, that you'll go and get groceries for the rest of your life, because this is the ultimate grocery getter. But why don't we go ahead, let's get going and go on throttle in our GTR. All right, guys, we left Reeves Subaru. We're in this 2018 GTR with some nice additions. I have it in manual shift mode. That 6-speed DCT, even though many other brands have gone with 7-speed or 8-speed DCTs, 6-speed still gets the job done. Very fast shifts from the manual mode when you hit those paddles. It would be nice to have the paddles in metal. One thing I have noticed before I came in front of the camera for you is in automatic mode, it takes a while for the 6-speed to drop down and get you running when you're on the highway. But with the manual controls, it allows you to be fully in charge of what's going on. One of the things that I love about this GTR is just how easy it is to drive. You got that all-wheel drive keeping you planted. The seats are very, very comfortable and supportive. I love this steering wheel. This steering wheel was worth every penny, whatever the previous owner paid for it, and Galaxy Customs did a bang-up job on it. Kind of cool that they're here in Tampa, right where we are right now at Reeves Subaru. Visibility out the back is just fine. It is blocked a little bit by the massive wing, but I think that that maybe might be an addition that somebody really, really wants. I'm fine with the stock wing, but definitely some carbon fiber looks really, really sharp on this GTR. But I think just how easy it is to drive and how you have room. You got the back seats. No, we didn't get in them, but you can have somebody sit back there if they're willing to make a little bit of a sacrifice for you. And you got plenty of trunk space, which is great. All right, guys, waiting for this light to turn green. Here we go. Over the hump, on time, here we go. I'm getting choked up here. This thing launches you like a rocket, and that's the thing I love about that all-wheel drive capability, just keeping you planted to the tarmac. And as I was going through the gearbox, I'm telling you, you're firing off those shifts very, very quickly. And I love the sound from that custom exhaust. Absolutely just gives you an eargasm every single time. All right, guys, here we go. What you want, I'm ready to give to you. On throttle, here we go. Oh my God. Wow. Look at this. Yeah. Yeah. Unbelievable. 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 The way it gets the power to the ground, I can feel more power going to the rear, allow me to square off the corner. The steering is so direct. It's something like this. It's like, I feel like we've taken the GTR for granted. It's been around for quite some time right now as the R35. We want something new. We want something fresh. We know a lot of the competition has moved on, but it still gets the job done, and it feels freaking good. Wow. All right, guys, dead stop. You, me, and Godzilla. On throttle, here we go. Wow. Oh my God, look at this. Yeah. The grip, the level of grip is ridiculous. Unfreaking believable. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. Wow. All right, guys, one more time for you. Definitely one more time for me. On fire, here we go. God. On those brakes. Here we go. Unbelievable. Did you see the rear just allow me to square off the corner? Not many cars you're able to do that with. Not many cars. On throttle, here we go, second gear. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. Guys, it's been another great day here at Reeves Subaru. I definitely got to thank LD and the rest of the crew tracking down Godzilla for us. This 2018 GTR just checks off so many boxes if you're looking for that supercar killer. And at under $100,000, I don't know many other vehicles that bring this level of performance and daily drivability. If you want to keep seeing these supercar killers on Rady's Rides, leave a comment in the comment section. If you're new and you're on your way out, hit that subscribe button. I promise you it's worthwhile. Come back for more. If you are a subscriber, thank you for being part of the Rady's Rides family. If you want to help us keep making great content just for you in the channel, click the first link in the description, get yourself some Rady's Rides merch, click that second link in the description, and become a Patreon member. I got to give it up to my wonderful wife, Lori, working that camera like the champ that she is. Show her some love in the comment section. Lori, you do such a fantastic job. And just like always, guys, I'll see you on the next ride.